Here's something that's going to completely blow your mind. Scientists at Princeton University discovered that when people simply focus their intention on random number generators, the machines actually start producing less random results. Think about that for a second. Human consciousness is literally influencing electronic devices just by paying attention to them. Your thoughts aren't just in your head, they're actively shaping reality. Welcome to the incredible world of quantum intention, where the latest discoveries in quantum physics meet the ancient understanding that consciousness creates reality. So here's the thing, at the quantum level, everything exists as pure potential until the moment we observe it. It's like having infinite doorways in front of you, and your focused intention is what determines which door opens into your actual experience. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel is essentially a frequency that ripples through this invisible field of possibilities that connects everything in the universe. Dr. Joe Dispenza puts it perfectly when he says we are not just observing reality, we are participating in its creation. And honestly, once you really understand this, it changes everything about how you approach your dreams and goals. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think manifestation is about wishful thinking or repeating affirmations while secretly doubting they'll work. That's not quantum intention. Quantum intention is about understanding that your consciousness has measurable effects on the physical world and learning to work with these quantum principles intentionally. In today's video, we're going to explore practical techniques for harnessing this incredible power you already possess. We'll dive into how to set intentions that actually work, how to align your energy with your desires using real quantum mechanics principles, and most importantly, how to maintain the coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and actions that makes manifestation inevitable. Your future self is already out there in the quantum field of possibilities, waiting for you to collapse that wave function into reality. Let me tell you about the moment everything I thought I knew about reality completely crumbled. I was reading about an experiment where scientists fired single photons, tiny particles of light, through two slits in a barrier. When they weren't watching, these photons somehow went through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern like ripples on water. But the instant they placed a detector to see which slit the photon went through, it behaved like a normal particle and only went through one slit. The photon literally changed its behavior based on whether someone was watching. That's when I realized we're living in a universe far stranger and more magical than I ever imagined. Welcome to the mind-bending world of quantum physics, where the impossible becomes possible and where your consciousness might be the most powerful force in shaping reality. So here's the thing about quantum mechanics that absolutely blows my mind every single time I think about it. At the smallest scale of reality, the building blocks of everything you see around you, particles don't exist in definite states. Instead, they exist in what scientists call superposition. Imagine flipping a coin that doesn't land on heads or tails, but somehow remains spinning in the air, being both heads and tails simultaneously until someone catches it and forces it to choose. That's superposition. Every electron, every photon, every quantum particle exists in all possible states at the same time. It's only when we measure it, when we bring our conscious attention to it, that reality collapses from infinite possibilities into one specific outcome. And this isn't just theoretical physics, this is happening trillions of times every second in your body right now. Dr. Amit Goswami, a quantum physicist who's dedicated his life to understanding consciousness, explains it beautifully when he says that consciousness is the ground of all being. We don't live in a material universe that somehow produced consciousness. We live in a conscious universe that produces the appearance of matter through our observation and intention. But it gets even wilder with something called quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they form a connection that transcends space and time. Change the state of one particle, and its entangled partner instantly changes too, no matter how far apart they are. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, because it completely defied everything we thought we knew about how the universe works. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to stay connected and hit the bell icon to get notified. Also, join our manifestation club on gogetter.au, where we keep raising the energy together. You're stepping into a space where these kinds of awakenings are our foundation. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is fascinating, but what does this have to do with my dreams and goals? Everything. Because if consciousness can collapse quantum possibilities into reality, if entangled particles can influence each other across vast distances, then your focused intention isn't just wishful thinking. It's a fundamental force of nature. Here's where the observer effect comes in. And honestly, this is where everything starts to make sense in the most beautiful way. The observer effect demonstrates that the act of observation changes the very thing being observed. It's not that we are passively watching reality unfold. We're actively participating in its creation through our focused attention and intention. Think about this for a moment. Your brain processes about 11 million bits of information every second, but your conscious mind can only handle about 40 bits. That means you're constantly choosing through your attention and focus which reality you're going to collapse into your experience. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every intention you set is literally selecting which version of reality you're going to experience. The famous physicist John Wheeler, who actually coined the term observer effect, proposed something even more radical. He suggested that the universe might be participatory, meaning that conscious observers don't just witness reality, they help bring it into existence through their observations. He called this the participatory universe theory. And this is where quantum physics meets what the ancient mystics have been saying for thousands of years. The Upanishads, ancient Sanskrit texts from India, declare that the observer, the process of observing, and the observed are one. The Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without, suddenly makes perfect scientific sense when you understand that consciousness and reality are intimately connected at the quantum level. But here's something that really gets me excited. Research from institutions like Princeton's Engineering Anomalies Research Lab has shown that human consciousness can actually influence quantum random number generators. When people focus their intention on these machines, the random outputs become measurably less random. Your consciousness is literally affecting quantum systems just by paying attention to them. In the comments, drop one thing that you want to manifest and most important for you right now. Maybe it's money, maybe it's happy relationship, maybe it's healthy and fit body, maybe it's something uniquely yours. Let this be a small but profound declaration, a signal to universe you send not just in this space but in quantum field. Dr. Dean Radin, who's been studying these phenomena for decades, has conducted thousands of experiments showing that consciousness can influence everything from random number generators to the decay of radioactive materials. This isn't pseudoscience. These are peer-reviewed studies published in mainstream scientific journals. Now, let's talk about what this means for manifestation. When you set a clear intention, when you focus your consciousness on a specific outcome, you're not just hoping something will happen. You're actively collapsing quantum possibilities into your reality. Your thoughts, your emotions, your focused attention are all quantum events that ripple through the field of infinite possibilities. But here's the key that most people miss, and I definitely struggled with this for years. It's not enough to just think about what you want occasionally. The quantum field responds to coherent, sustained intention. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all aligned toward the same outcome, you create what's called quantum coherence. This coherence amplifies your influence on the field of possibilities. The HeartMath Institute has shown that when your heart and brain are in coherence, when you are feeling genuine emotions of gratitude, love, or excitement about your future, your electromagnetic field becomes measurably more coherent and powerful. You're literally broadcasting a clearer signal into the quantum field. And here's where it gets really fascinating. What if I told you that every time you observe something, you're not just seeing what's already there, but you're actually helping to create it through the very act of observation? The implications of this are staggering. It means that reality isn't fixed and predetermined. It's fluid, responsive, and constantly being shaped by conscious observers like you and me. This observer effect doesn't just apply to particles in a laboratory. It applies to every aspect of your life, every relationship, every opportunity, every challenge. The way you observe your circumstances, the way you focus your attention and intention, is literally shaping your reality at the quantum level. In our next video, we're going to dive deep into this mind-bending phenomenon and explore how you can harness the observer effect to transform every area of your life. We'll uncover how the simple act of changing how you observe can change what you experience in ways that will completely revolutionize your approach to creating the life you desire. Today, we're diving deep into the practical techniques that can help you harness quantum principles for manifestation. These aren't just visualization exercises, they're quantum technologies for programming your consciousness and aligning your energy with the reality you want to create. So here's the thing about traditional visualization that most people get completely wrong. They think it's about creating detailed mental images of what they want, like watching a movie in their mind. But quantum physics tells us something completely different. The field doesn't respond to the pictures in your head. It responds to the frequency you're broadcasting through your thoughts, emotions, and state of being. Let me share with you the quantum field visualization technique that changed everything for me. This isn't about seeing your desired outcome. It's about becoming energetically coherent with it. First, find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Now, instead of trying to visualize specific outcomes, I want you to imagine stepping into what I call the quantum field of possibilities. Picture yourself surrounded by a shimmering, luminous field of pure potential. This field contains every possible version of your future self, every possible reality you could experience. Now, here's the key part. Don't try to see yourself achieving your goals. Instead, feel into the energy signature of having already achieved them. If your intention is about finding your soulmate, don't visualize meeting them. Instead, feel the warmth, security, and deep love that comes from being in that relationship. Feel it in your body. Let that frequency fill every cell. If your intention is about financial abundance, don't picture money or specific amounts. Feel the freedom, the security, the joy of living without financial stress. Feel the generosity you'd embody, the confidence, the peace of mind. Let those emotions become your reality right now in this moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when you generate the emotions of your future reality in the present moment, your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what's actually happening. Your nervous system starts firing in new patterns, creating new neural networks that align with your desired reality. But here's where most people lose the plot. They do this visualization once and expect magic to happen. Quantum manifestation requires what I call sustained coherent intention. You need to practice getting into this energetic state regularly until it becomes your natural frequency. Now, let's talk about something absolutely crucial that can make or break your manifestation efforts. Emotional alignment. This is where the real quantum magic happens. And honestly, it took me years to fully understand this. Your emotions aren't just feelings, they're electromagnetic frequencies that interact with the quantum field. When you're feeling fear, doubt, or frustration about your desires, you're broadcasting incoherent signals that cancel each other out. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while someone else is constantly changing the dial. The quantum field responds to coherent emotional states. Joy, gratitude, love, excitement, and genuine belief create what scientists call cardiac coherence. Your heart rhythm becomes smooth and ordered, your brain waves synchronize, and your entire electromagnetic field becomes more powerful and coherent. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that when you're in cardiac coherence, your heart's electromagnetic field becomes 5,000 times stronger than your brain's field and can be measured up to 8 feet away from your body. You're literally broadcasting a stronger signal into the quantum field. So how do you cultivate these high-frequency emotions? Here's a practice I call quantum emotional priming that has been absolutely life-changing for me and thousands of people I've shared it with. Every morning, before you even get out of bed, spend 10 minutes generating the emotions of gratitude and joy. But here's the twist. Don't think about things in your current reality that you're grateful for. Instead, feel gratitude for your desires as if they've already manifested. Feel grateful for the love that's already flowing into your life. Feel grateful for the abundance that's already surrounding you. Feel grateful for the health, the opportunities, the success that already exists in the quantum field, waiting for you to collapse it into your experience. Neuroscientist Dr. Antonio Damasio has shown that emotion and feeling are not luxuries, they're actually the foundation of all decision making and behavior. When you generate these elevated emotions regularly, you start making different choices. You start taking different actions. You start showing up as the person who already has what you desire. But emotional alignment isn't just about positive feelings, it's about authentic alignment. If you're trying to force joy when you're actually feeling scared, you create internal resistance that blocks your manifestation. The key is to acknowledge where you are emotionally and then gently guide yourself into higher frequencies. Ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, "Nothing is permanent except change." Your emotional state is always in flux, which means you always have the power to shift it. When you catch yourself in fear or doubt, don't judge it. Instead, ask yourself, what would I need to feel in order to be aligned with my desired reality? Then consciously choose to cultivate that feeling. Now, let me share with you a simple but incredibly powerful practice that combines quantum visualization with emotional alignment. I call it the quantum coherence protocol, and it's designed to be done in just 15 minutes a day, but the effects compound exponentially over time. Step 1 is quantum centering. Sit comfortably and place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Breathe slowly and deeply, feeling your breath, connecting your heart and your core. This activates what's called the vagus nerve, which helps create coherence between your heart and brain. As you breathe, imagine golden light flowing from your heart center, filling your entire body, then expanding beyond your physical form. This light represents your consciousness connecting with the quantum field. Feel yourself becoming one with this infinite field of possibilities. Step 2 is intention activation. From this centered state, bring your desires to mind, but not as something you want to achieve in the future. Feel them as energetic realities that already exist in the quantum field. You're not trying to create them, you're trying to tune into them. If your desire is perfect health, feel the vibrant energy, the strength, the vitality flowing through your body right now. If it's a thriving business, feel the fulfillment of serving others, the excitement of growth, the satisfaction of success. Make these feelings more real than your current circumstances. Step 3 is quantum surrender. Here's the paradox that I struggled with for the longest time. The quantum field responds to clear intention, but it also requires detachment from specific outcomes. It's like placing an order at a restaurant and then constantly running to the kitchen to check on it. Your interference actually slows down the process. After you've activated your intention and generated the aligned emotions, you have to let go. Trust that the quantum field has received your signal and is orchestrating circumstances in ways your conscious mind could never imagine. Einstein beautifully captured this when he said, "The significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. Your current logical mind cannot figure out how your desires will manifest. But the quantum field, with its infinite intelligence, can orchestrate synchronicities, opportunities, and events that seem miraculous from your limited perspective." The final step is daily coherence maintenance. Throughout your day, whenever you remember, take 30 seconds to reconnect with the feeling frequency of your desires. Don't worry about the how or when. Just embody the energy of having already received what you've asked for. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his meditations, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This ancient wisdom aligns perfectly with quantum physics. Your way of thinking, feeling, and being creates your reality at the quantum level. But here's something most people don't realize about this process. The quantum field doesn't just respond to your conscious thoughts and intentions. It responds to your entire energetic signature, including your subconscious beliefs, your cellular memory, and what psychologist Carl Jung called the collective unconscious. This is why sometimes people can do everything right with visualization and emotional alignment, but still struggle to manifest their desires. There might be deeper patterns, inherited beliefs, or energetic blockages that are creating interference in their quantum signal. The beautiful thing is that the same quantum principles that allow you to manifest your desires also allow you to clear these blockages. When you consistently practice quantum coherence, you start to become aware of these deeper patterns. You might notice resistance coming up during your visualization or emotional reactions that don't seem to match your current circumstances. Don't see this as failure. See it as the quantum field showing you exactly what needs to be healed and released. Every resistance pattern that surfaces is an opportunity to create even more coherence and power in your manifestation practice. Ancient Taoist wisdom speaks of Wu Wei, often translated as effortless action. It's the principle of aligning with the natural flow of the universe rather than forcing outcomes. When you truly master quantum intention, manifestation starts to feel effortless because you're working with the fundamental forces of reality rather than against them. The key is consistency and patience. Quantum changes often happen gradually and then suddenly. You might not see dramatic shifts immediately, but trust that every moment you spend in quantum coherence is literally rewiring your brain, upgrading your electromagnetic field, and sending clearer signals into the field of infinite possibilities. Remember, you're not just trying to get things from the universe, you're learning to collaborate with the creative force that formed galaxies and orchestrates the dance of subatomic particles. That same intelligence that grows your hair and beats your heart is working to manifest your deepest desires. And here's something that's going to completely revolutionize how you approach every aspect of your life. What if the very act of observing your current circumstances with conscious awareness could actually change them at the quantum level? We're going to explore this mind-bending phenomenon in our next video, where we'll dive deep into how you can harness the observer effect to transform not just what you attract, but what you experience moment by moment. Let's now dive into the practical applications of these principles, and I'm going to share real-life examples from different areas of life that will show you just how powerful this can be when applied consistently. Let's start with career and purpose, because this is where I see the most dramatic transformations. Traditional career advice tells you to network, update your resume, apply to hundreds of jobs, but quantum intention works differently. It works from the inside out. Take Marcus, a software engineer who felt completely stuck in a corporate job that drained his soul. Instead of immediately quitting or desperately applying elsewhere, he started what I call quantum purpose alignment. Every day, he would connect with the feeling of doing work that excited him, work that made a difference, work where he could use his creativity and skills in meaningful ways. He wasn't visualizing specific jobs or companies. He was tuning into the energy signature of fulfillment, purpose, and excitement. Within 2 months, a startup founder approached him at a coffee shop, of all places, after overhearing a conversation he was having about innovative approaches to software development. That chance encounter led to his dream job as a lead developer for a company creating educational technology. Here's the quantum principle at play. When you embody the energy of what you desire, you become a vibrational match for opportunities that align with that frequency. You start showing up differently, speaking differently, noticing different things. The field responds to who you're being, not what you're trying to get. Now let's talk about relationships, because this is where quantum intention can be absolutely magical. Dr. Helen Fisher's research on love and attachment shows that we're naturally drawn to people whose energy fields complement our own. When you change your energetic frequency, you literally change who you attract into your life. I know a woman named Lisa who had been single for 5 years after a difficult divorce. She was doing all the right things, online dating, going to social events, saying yes to blind dates. But she was approaching it from a place of loneliness and need, which quantum physics tells us attracts more experiences of loneliness and need. Everything changed when she shifted her approach. Instead of looking for someone to complete her, she started embodying the energy of love itself. She practiced feeling grateful for the love that was already in her life, friends, family, even self-love. She cultivated joy and fulfillment as a single person, not as preparation for meeting someone, but as an expression of her natural state. The shift was remarkable. Within weeks, people started commenting on how radiant she looked. She felt more confident, more playful, more authentically herself. And yes, she did meet her now husband, but not in the way she expected. He was a friend of a friend who had known her for years, but suddenly saw her in a completely different light. He later told her it was like she had become a completely different person, glowing from the inside out. The quantum principle here is that love isn't something you find outside yourself. It's a frequency you tune into and broadcast. When you embody love, you attract loving experiences and loving people into your reality. Health is another area where quantum intention can produce profound results, though I always recommend working with qualified healthcare professionals alongside these practices. The mind body connection is real and scientifically documented. Doctor. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when people change their thoughts and emotional patterns, they can literally change their brain chemistry and gene expression. I met a man named Robert at a workshop who had been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. Traditional medical treatments had helped somewhat, but he still felt exhausted and limited. He started practicing what we call quantum vitality embodiment. Instead of focusing on his illness, he would spend time each day feeling into perfect health and energy. He didn't deny his current symptoms, but he refused to let them define his identity. He would connect with the feeling of vitality, strength, and abundant energy that he remembered from his younger years. He made this practice as real and vivid as possible, feeling healthy energy flowing through every cell of his body. Combined with proper medical care, dietary changes, and lifestyle modifications, his energy levels gradually improved. More importantly, his relationship with his health transformed. He stopped identifying as someone with chronic fatigue and started identifying as someone who is healing and getting stronger every day. That shift in identity, that quantum change in how he observed himself, seemed to accelerate his healing process significantly. But here's something crucial that I want you to understand. Quantum intention isn't magic thinking where you just wish for things and they appear. It's about aligning your consciousness with the fundamental creative principles of the universe. It requires consistent practice, emotional coherence, and often inspired action. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step." Your quantum journey begins with choosing one specific area of your life where you want to apply these principles. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pause this video for a moment and ask yourself, what is one dream, one goal, one desired outcome that really lights you up when you think about it? Don't choose something because you think you should want it. Choose something that generates genuine excitement and joy in your body when you imagine it. Maybe it's finding work that feels like play. Maybe it's attracting a loving, supportive relationship. Maybe it's improving your health and vitality. Maybe it's starting that creative project you've been putting off for years. Maybe it's financial freedom that allows you to live generously and without stress. Whatever it is, I want you to get specific about how it would feel to have already achieved this goal. Not how you would feel in the moment of achieving it, but how you would feel living with it as your reality. What emotions would you experience daily? How would you move through the world differently? How would you treat yourself and others? This feeling state is your quantum frequency. This is what you want to practice embodying every single day, even for just 15 minutes. Remember, the field responds to who you're being, not what you're wanting. And here's something that's going to absolutely transform how you approach every moment of your life. What if every time you consciously observe your current circumstances, every time you bring awareness to where you are right now, you could actually influence and change those circumstances through the very act of conscious observation? This mind-bending application of the observer effect is what we're exploring in our next video, and it's going to revolutionize how you see every challenge and opportunity in your daily experience. If you watched till now, you're not here by accident. Like to anchor it, comment what clicked, share this gift with one person and subscribe, because you're ready. Now click on this video on your screen to better understand Observer's effect in quantum physics. I will see you there.